Hi, I'm George, the Weather Dad, and just to let you know, this little guy here is going to be our friend for the next 11 weeks. Had just had rotator cuff surgery, so nevertheless, we're doing fine. We're on our way to recovery, but as far as weather is concerned, it's not going to be a nice spring recovery type weekend, if I can put it that way. It's going to be relatively chilly with some precipitation here and there. Now, as far as Monday's temperatures are concerned, normal high temperatures for the Ohio Valley this time of year were generally right around the lower 60s, with the nighttime lows right around 40 or a little bit above. And you can see here on Monday, it's going to be a chilly day throughout most of the country, with the exception there of the Central Plains and certainly Florida. It's still going to be pretty nice for you there. We're going to jump right to Wednesday because not much is going to change. Still in this area, still very chilly. Temperatures about normal in the 50s, I think, for afternoon highs right here in the Ohio Valley. But nice warm up there as you head towards the west and down into the central and southern plains. Friday, we're starting to see that change just a little bit. The cooler air starts working its way a little bit more towards the east, but still not a nice temperature day. We like to see temperatures in the 70s. I don't see that's going to happen here on Friday, but notice the warm up though off towards the west. And then as we jump to Sunday, that warmer air starts working its way in, and I think that's going to be the start of a nice warming trend, more spring-like temperatures starting for next week. And I think next weekend, temperature-wise, right here in the Ohio Valley should be pretty nice, at least nicer than we will see this week. Precipitation-wise, well, the southeast, the mid-Atlantic, very, very wet. Remember, right here in the Ohio Valley, we have flooding going on, lots of rain, rainfall amounts anywhere between 5 to 9 inches of rain, lots of water. We're going to take us a while to drop those rivers and contributaries to the rivers for the next week. But a lot of activity here on Monday, drying out a little bit there here in the Midwest for us on our Monday. Tuesday, again, not too bad. That system continues to move off. A little bit of precipitation around, especially off towards the west, but it should be a dry day for most of us. Here, as we head on into Wednesday, here comes the next system. Wednesday is going to be kind of a damp, chilly day right here in the Midwest. Even could see some snow in the air in some portions of the Great Lakes and upper Midwest. By Thursday, you kind of see it a big comma shape that really gets itself together, bringing in another shot of that colder air. Again, that's going to be on our Friday, and it could be some snow up in the Great Lakes and even portions here in the Midwest, and even at nighttime as temperatures drop down into the 30s. So it's going to be kind of a chilly day from that perspective. Here, as we work our way on into the weekend, we're seeing fairly dry weather. You got another little batch of precipitation there. That's going to be the introduction to that warmer air that I talked about. And then here on Sunday, that most of that really explodes to the east of the Midwest. Those of you into the East Coast, Northeast especially, is going to see kind of a wet Saturday from that standpoint. But you can see all this nice dry weather. That's going to be on our Saturday as well as most of Sunday. But here comes that next bit of energy, and it does start showing up here on Sunday there in the Central Plains. But again, temperatures are going to be modifying quite a bit as we head on into next weekend. So no snowfall in this grouping. There could be some precipitation early next week, but I think for the most part, next weekend is going to be pretty nice right here in the Midwest. At least for sure, it is going to feel a little bit more spring-like when it comes to temperatures. So let's get through this week, and hopefully by next week, we'll see some temperatures back into the 70s. I'll be back to you in a couple of days. Until then, I'm George, the Weather Dad.